Okay, so I just wanted to include one last quick set of instructions for when you're applying your secondary hues to your color wheel template. You had the same set of instructions basically for your applying your primary hues to your template. And you should have already applied yellow, red, and blue to the proper corresponding spaces on your color wheel template. So this should address the remaining three hues um, in those two sets of hues. So first step here, work step one, you're going to mask off your orange hue space right over here. Make sure you're in the proper space. It says O. You're going to put your frog tape for delicate surfaces along either straight side here, and then your tape for masking curves. You're going to mask that top curve or that outer curve, and then on the inside of the inner curve of that space. Again, just be careful as you're masking off. And let's see, the next step is, oh, this should be work step two, not four. Actually, work step two. All right, you are using your 1 inch flat brush to apply your paint in the masked off space for your orange hue. So you're going to have your container, you're going to get out your container of orange hue right here. You have your acrylic matte medium. You're going to put a tiny drop on your palette along with a little blob of orange hue. And you're going to mix those together quickly with your palette knife and thoroughly with your palette knife. And then you're going to use your 1 inch flat to apply paint to this area. Remember, use enough paint so you can get a nice, good coverage very quickly with big strokes over the top so you get a nice smooth surface. It's possible you may need to apply a second coat, but probably not. That orange should cover pretty well. Okay. So what are we doing after that? We're repeating those same steps, right, of adding our matte medium to a blob of our secondary hue, right, which is violet after we have masked that space off. Then we are painting it in, right, after we've mixed in our acrylic matte medium. I'm going to paint that in. And then finally, we will do that same process for our green hue, which is our third secondary hue. We're going to get out our green container, add a little droplet of acrylic matte medium to it, mix it thoroughly with our palette knife, and then apply to this space with our clean 1 inch flat brush. Probably will not need a second coat, but again, it depends on your paint application. But just be mindful of that. You should not be able to see that written label through the paint. And if you can, then you're going to need to apply additional coats with drying in between until you can no longer see the writing below. Okay, take off the tape, right? And then let this dry. And that is, this is what you should have by the time you come into class on Thursday, right? Your yellow, your red, and your blue, you will have painted first, followed by your three secondary hues, your orange, your violet, and your green. All right, thanks very much and good luck.